Hi everyone! Today I'm just going to do a quick recap of what I used for my April page kits. I made 3 page kits and I'm just going to share with you the pages as well as what's remaining from those kits. So I made this page about picking our venue. It has that giant heart with the big pattern with the bows. I did a page about asking my bridesmaids to be my bridesmaids. And this has like a bunch of those tiny hearts and arrows based on a sketch. And then the last page I did was using a cut file, the summer sun, and then also me using a ton of my colorful brads. And the cut file was my inspiration. So what is left over? For my first kit, I just have a few of these paper scraps. I punched out some hearts. I have some other tiny pieces and I'll be using those, probably putting them back in my scrap folder and ideally using them in a future page. If I don't, I'll probably toss them. I have some leftover cork arrows. Used a couple of those. I recall that I did not use any of these stickers, so I will put this back into my supplies to be part of future kits that I make. I used a couple of these word stickers that have a gold foil, and then I definitely and usually will have lots of leftover stickers after I finish a page, so I never really expect these to be completely gone. As for the paper, I have just a little bit over half a sheet of this beautiful yellow floral with a pink background, a corner of that bow piece of paper, and 2 leftover strips of paper that I had tossed in that didn't end up getting used. For my second page, I of course still have tons of letter thickers. I actually merged some of them. I can tell because it's like a mix of numbers and letters. They're not in order anymore. I try to merge them once I get to a point I feel that it's not worth holding onto an extra package of thickers. I will just put them all into a sheet. This one's extra thick. I think there's like 3 sheets of them in here. And then I don't think I used any of these, so definitely will go back into my supplies. As for the paper aspect, I have a few of these cut aparts that I didn't use. They'll also go back into my paper scraps to be redistributed later. The big sheets, I have a quarter or a third of the 12 by 12. I have a good chunk of the gold foiled hearts. I love this paper, so definitely putting it back into my supplies to be part of other kits in the future. And this strip of polka dot that's left over. And then this was just the sketch that I used for that page. And then my last page, I think the first thing that pops to mind is how I did not use any of these letter thickers. They're foam, navy colored. I will put this back into my thicker bin for another kit. I just didn't need them for that page, so I had a cup. I put a whole sheet of this washi sticker in. I know I used a few, so that got used, but obviously I still have plenty. I know I used a couple of these tabs as well, but there's still plenty on here. As for the papers, I had punched out from one of the floral sheets these little hearts. They'll go into my stash as well. They'll get used up pretty quickly. They're easy to use. I have also these tiny cut aparts. I used a few on the page, but I didn't use them all, so obviously I have quite a number of them left over, and I'll use them in another page as well. My cut file had the word summer cut out, and I didn't feel like tossing these. I feel like I definitely could use these on another page as a title. Summer is very applicable, very generic, so definitely going to save these for a different layout. And then as for the big scraps, I got This was from a 12 by 12 that I used. It was just to trim down the paper, so I definitely like to save these. There's definitely a use for them. I did not use any of these strips that had punched out stars in them, but they definitely are still going to be useful. So I'm going to hang on to those as well. And then for the big sheets, I have a good chunk of this orange and white striped paper. Obviously the orange was a highlight in my layout, but I did not have to use all of it. So there's what's left over. I have about half or so, actually it is half of a 12 by 12 of this floral, rainbow floral, and then a little, just a few pieces left of the rainbow diagonal stripe pattern paper that I used as well. So I feel like I used a good amount of the supplies I had put in. I didn't really add anything extra, or not too much extra from what I recall when I was doing each of the pages. So I definitely made a dent in my supplies. So again, here are my pages. This one's based on a cut file. This one was based on a sketch. And of course, one just from the products that I had in the kit. And I hope that gives you guys some inspiration of how much you could use and how you could get your scraps part of your process and making more pages. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any comments or questions about my layouts and my supplies, you can leave those down below. And I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye.